Giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings unto the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. All right, it's Brother Tazapah here, and today we're going to be serving up some digital system, all right, because that's what's coming to the world, all right, a new digital system, which the elites have dubbed it this fourth industrial revolution. So we're going to serve up some fourth industrial revolution today, all right, which is the digital system, which in actuality is not even an industrial revolution at all. It's more, I mean, you could call it that, but it's more so of a technical revolution, which would be the second, all right. So we had two industrial revolutions, and now, all right, two technical revolutions, having the digital revolution. What, that's back in what, the 70s? For sure, the 80s, late 70s, late 70s through the 80s, we hit the digital age. That was the first digital revolution, although they probably won't acknowledge it. But before you can go cyber, you have to go digital. All right, and that took place, and when you saw the Ataris or Macintosh come out, that was the digital age. They made songs about it, both white and black. I remember that, you know, I grew up in that age. All right, we played Pac-Man, we played Frogger and Donkey Kong, Atari, you know. Black folk didn't fuck with Macintosh too much. We had Atari. Esau, you know, dealt with the Macintosh. Not that black folks didn't have it, but when it came to the games, shit, Pac-Man ruled the world. Well, shit, Pac-Man took over the world. All right? That ushered in the digital age. All right? And so, now we in this cyberspace. They trying to put everyone in cyberspace. All right, which is the next phase of digital. All right, so we're coming into a technological revolution. All right, so I'm here in Habakkuk chapter 2, and we're going to kick it off at verse 4. It says, "Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him." And it's talking about Esau, Edom. All right, he is the one that has engineered and orchestrated this system of terror, this system of technological terror that's getting ready to oppress the entire world, all right? Which is already has begun in pockets, but once they make it mandatory, you're going to find yourself in straits, because now you have options. You still can use that cash, although it's getting harder and harder to use, but you still, cash is an option, all right? Your debit and your credit cards are definitely options, all right? But when they go mandatory, all options are off the table. It will be digital IDs and digital currencies. This is where we're headed, all right? And we'll probably be speaking on this tomorrow for the Thursday watch, all right? But right, that's this man, check this out. "Behold, his soul, which is lifted up." All right, so he's lifted up with pride, arrogance. He's a pompous bastard. All right. It said his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. But the just, who are the elect of the nation of Israel, because all of the Israelites are not just. All right. So the just that the Heavenly Father are dealing with, bringing back to his only begotten Son, well, let me put it this way, bringing us back to him through his only begotten Son. All right? That's the just. Those who are taking this word on and clothing themselves in this word. Those who walk the doctrine of truth taught by this book, these scriptures. We don't just, it's not just a show for us. All right, so the men and the women, there's some women that are striving to get right, doing things the right way, but they are the just. They're going to live by faith. This is how you identify who the just are. Not faith in the fiat, which is the Federal Reserve note, not faith in the digital that's getting ready to come. You know, whether it be stable coin, which I call unstable coin, or whatever digital currency is popping in your neck of the woods, all right? Your faith ain't in that. All right? If you got a woman, is she good to you? You know, you love her to death. It ain't talking about her. Your faith cannot be in her. All right? She can have faith in you as a man of the Lord, but ultimately that's what? Having faith in the Lord. All right? But a man's faith should not be in a woman. All right? And I say a woman's faith can be in you due to Isaiah, the 4th chapter. We are their salvation. The Lord is coming for his first fruits. And that's all he's coming for. Now, there's going to be women to be saved for his first fruits. And that's all he's concerned about. His first fruits. Women in the scriptures made it plain would be saved in childbearing. All right? So he's going to, of course, deliver women for his for the elect. All right? This is why it's the man's obligation to come out and to do these lessons, all right? To teach this truth. And even the apostle just came out and said they didn't put it as official now. Both Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, you know, and I'm sure Apostle Ramlab and Apostle Rakar, but I heard it straight from Apostle Tahar and Apostle Gabar's mouth that, yeah, if you women, you know, see a brother that you like or you into, you know, just pray the Lord send him to you and just wait. All right? Most High know who you are and where you at and how to get to you. His arms are not short that he cannot deliver. And that's man, woman, and child. All right, so it's gonna happen if it's meant to happen. All right, but right, when that time, to quote Apostle Tahar, Isaiah 4:1 is now. All right, but this ain't that lesson. I'm just saying that. All right, the just is gonna live by their faith in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And that's it. And it says, going to verse 5, still speaking on Esau, yea, also, because he transgressed by wine. And that wine is in the form of doctrines, ideologies, and philosophies, belief systems. All right? Doctrines, dogma. This is how he transgresses. All right? He'll have you know, post all these classic pictures of, you know, who they call Jesus, and it bears no resemblance to what's written in the scriptures, both in Daniel chapter 10 or in Revelation chapter 1. He has you to, his school systems are a joke. Banking system is all fraud. It was set up on fraud, meant to be fraudulent from its inception, and the fraud is being carried out to this very day. All right? Fractional reserve banking system. This is his wine which he transgresses by. The Lord, he despises usury. Well, that's not true. You cannot charge usury to your brother. All right? As the Israelites, as Israelites, we're not supposed to be charged, nobody's supposed to charge us interest or put usury on our money. Well, as brothers. So that go for other Israelites as well as Esau, because he is a brother, but he broke the brotherly covenant. All right? But the other heathens, technically they can. They can charge us usury, but Esau, being a brother right out of the same womb, it's in the law he's not supposed to charge usury. All right, but that's one of the main ways they keep us down. All right, which is why I keep and continue preaching against generational wealth. You cannot have generational wealth when you're dealing with a false balance in money. When you work and you don't get, how is it worded? I just say properly compensated for your efforts, for your energy. All right? So what does that make you do? Have to go and work more, which produces more for them, which makes more money for them, but you just barely skating by, so you have to come in again and again, and the next thing you know, you're 60, then you're 65, still having to do it because you're not getting paid competent and competitive wage for the work that you're doing. The next thing you know, you're 75, you done worked yourself to the grave. That's from the false balance and the false measure. Instead of them paying you right, and you can save up money to get into your own ventures and investments and get away from being a fucking slave. The system is set up to exploit us. So this is just one of the ways, or a few of the ways that he transgressed it by wine. All right? We're not even going to get into the governmental structure of democracy, but that's getting ready to change with the whole AI, cyber, this whole digital system that's coming. All right? They don't need Congress. I've been saying this for weeks now, and maybe even months. They will not need Congress. They don't need a Senate. They won't need none of that when you relegate it to a 15-minute city. They're going to have AI to govern that city, which governs you. Any infractions will be dealt with and addressed immediately. All right? So the court systems, all of that about, I'm sure will be in cyberspace. You'll go before an AI judge. Oh, they got a movie about it. It's called Mercy. And they just started showing the previews. It ain't out yet, but the previews are out. It's called Mercy, and it's just about that. AI judges, artificial intelligent judges, all right? And you being brought before them. If you commit a crime or whatever, little infraction or whatever, okay? And it looked like from the movie they dealing out, or from the actual trailer, it seemed like it's that the AI is dishing out draconian measures. All right, even though the man was being judged for murder of his wife. All right. So yeah, his judgment was to be put to death. But I wonder what, if you You know, I don't know, um, went beyond your 15 minutes or your border, if you wandered out, you know, would they just put you to death on spot? Would they, you know? But hopefully we don't find none of this out, all right? This is what they want. But the Lord said, we know from Job chapter 20, that when he is about to fill his belly, when he is to go in for all the gusto and the glory of what he set out to do, the Most High is going to upset him. All right, but it says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine. All right, his different belief systems. He is a proud man, right? A pompous bastard. Again, neither keepeth at home. Yeah, look at America. All right, we can go all the way back to Petra and talk about Petra, but look at America. Infrastructure is failing, crumbling. Jobs non-existent. You know, they're few and far in between. Actual jobs where you can support yourself and a spouse, you know, and some children. You know, those jobs are few and far in between, or far and few in between. Yeah, I said it right. Few and far in between. Okay? Real bring home the lamb jobs, all right? Well, I can say bacon, because all bacon ain't pork. All right? But some real jobs, you know, to make a man feel good about himself when he come home at the end of the day. You know what I mean? He don't keep at home. And going back to him transgressing by wine, we send millions to Ukraine in the tune of hundreds of millions. They send billions to Israel. And in between all of that, we funding, our tax money is funding all of these frivolous fucking wars, just like they're in Venezuela, or Trump keep bombing these boats in Venezuela. All right, and that brings me to really what I wanted to talk about. You know, we should go back to what I was saying. It's not meant for us. They know that them, for the most part, down in Venezuela are Israelites. All right, but let's finish and we'll get into that. All right. So he don't keep at home. We're about to face famine. The land is not being taken care of or cultivated. The land Sabbath is not being honored. If they wanted to grow crops in America, for the most part, in you know, in mass or in bulk, you'll be hard pressed. And when you go out to what they call the fertile lands out west in California, with the orange orchards and grape, you know, all the wine and all of that. That shit ain't shit. Them little bitty grapes come out of California, them little bitty oranges, that ain't shit. An orange supposed to be like the size of a basketball. All right, at least in WNBA basketball, you know, women's basketball. You know, so America is done. And what I'm saying is nothing is being done to address these issues because they don't care no more. He's not keeping at home. Slacky. He don't, because they're getting ready. They're putting these 15-minute cities up. You're not fixing to be driving, so they don't care if it's the roads and collapse on themselves, or these overpasses just fall in. They don't care. You're not fixing to be gadding abroad no more. All right? And anything else, they don't care. You know what I mean? So, Right. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Right. This desire for this digital system and digital IDs and digital currencies, this is a living nightmare. This is him looking to enlarge his desire, but it's going to be hell for humanity. He's the only one that is going to benefit or get any enjoyment. And I say he, I'm speaking about the head Edomites, these elite Edomites. Okay? So right, who enlarged his desire as hell. This man is hellish. His thoughts, his ideas, and what he wants to bring to fruition for humanity is hellish. Nightmarish. And yet people are going headlong into it. They going voluntarily getting chipped. People ready to go just like they was ready for the juice. I talked to people, they was ready. They said, I'll be glad when they get this juice out. Because, people were scared. But see, they're not living by faith, are they? You see? At GMS, Great Millstone, we live by faith. We said, well, if it's deadly, then it's going to have to take me out. But I already know these people. It's only deadly when you volunteer for it. I mean, they had everybody scared of the so-called sickness, all right? But what you should have been scared of is what they called the cure. All right, and you went headlong into that for not living by faith. All right. And I wasn't scared of COVID. But I didn't trust that juice. All right. I didn't say I was scared of it. I knew what it was about, and I didn't want it. All right, but now they trying to force it on people. That's in your chemtrails now. All right, the juice can be aerosolized and sprayed in the air. This is what people don't know, and they already been told you, Bill Gates and others, we want to put this mRNA platform in everything, meaning what you eat. And they was putting it in the meats. All right. And this is just more him transgressing by wine, but it's a part of the bigger system that's coming. All right. How much time I got? Okay, I'm about out of time. It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And this is really what I wanted to focus on, his one world order through his digital cyber system. All right. And so I was just thinking, why they fucking with Venezuela? Everybody's saying, oh, it's about the oil, And Venezuela they say there's more oil in Venezuela than what the Saudis got. And Saudis got so much oil, there's lakes of oil on top of the ground, bubbling up. That's how much oil they got. It's coming up out the ground. You ain't even got to pump it. All right? In spots. That ain't everywhere. It's spots where it just come up to the surface and the pool up. Not no little bitty pool. I'm talking like a lake of oil, a small lake. So Venezuela's supposed to have more oil than that. But, all right, with me knowing we going to a digital age, and I said digital, we've been in digital, all right? The computer age, at first it started with vacuum tubes. Then, like I said, maybe the late 60s, early into the 70s, they went digital. And for sure by the late 70s, but now they're taking advantage of cyberspace. All right, and this is where they want to put everyone in cyberspace so that their AI overlord can track you. Okay? So knowing that digital or this digital/cyber system is coming, why you worried about oil? Ain't none of this shit running on oil. I mean, you say, you might have a few things, but it's I'm sure there'd be some things run on oil, but it's not worth taking a nation to war as it was in the Industrial Revolution, because in the Industrial Revolution, everything ran on petroleum, all right, in the form of oil, gasoline, diesel, whatever, other lubricants, and all of that was based on your petroleum, well, I didn't even say fossil fuel. That was made up. There's no such thing as fossil fuel. All come from the earth. It's produced by the earth. It doesn't come from decaying flesh and bone. It's a part of the earth. It's the Heavenly Father put it there. Okay? But this technological revolution won't require as much oil. All right, and America has oil in the Dakotas that they say is a humongous, they say it's huge, oil deposit in the Dakotas. So, if we go into an age where everything is ran by AI, artificial intelligence, and yes, you might need some use for petroleum, but it won't be enough to take a nation to war. What is it really about? All right, it's about keeping them from doing business with BRICS, and letting BRICS get, access to that, and keeping Venezuela also at the same time in poverty. All right, this is about control. It ain't about the resource. In a way, all right. It's indirectly tied to the oil, but it's more so about control and keeping the Venezuelans on the leash and not letting BRICS, Russia or China, get access to it to boost their economies and their countries. It's just the only way I see it. Because Trump is continuing to bomb these people. But I thought y'all was going to a technological era. Which one of the most challenging problems that they'll face is storage, space, and overheating, being able to cool all of these processors. All right? Which may require some petroleum. I don't know. Well, they have other ways, is what I'm saying. Now, whether they employ those other ways, I have no idea. But why are we still at war over oil? Or waging war. Anyway, we'll finish this tomorrow. All right, because I got some more scriptures I got to get into. Time just go by too fast nowadays. But anyway, to the next one, y'all stay up, stay tuned. Much love. Shalom.